So recently, a TikToker went viral for breaking down the real reason Black women can't get married.
Black women do not go to school with the intention of one day being a housewife or a homeschool mom or a private school mom or soccer mom or whatever. A lot of Black women go to school and their top priority is that education for that career.
The reason Black women can't get married is because they don't want to. She gave an example of how many Black women, which I can attest to, we are told when we go to college to focus on college, focus on our career, and in many instances, we are actually discouraged to get involved with a man, discouraged to get involved in a relationship, unless the dude is like a multimillionaire. And this is a fundamental problem. Men are looking for different things. Men are strictly looking for different things. They're looking for youth, beauty, and fertility. Other cultures recognize this. And again, this goes back to why there are a lot of issues with Black women in particular. We're not set up for success when it comes to dating and mating. If the reality is you're a woman who wants a man, then it's important that you know what men want. And men generally value youth, fertility, beauty. So why would you not engage with a man when you are most likely to be able to offer that? But no, instead of us being told that, instead of us being set up for success, instead of us engaging when we have our highest market value, we are told to wait. We are told to push things off. We are told to increase our body count. We are told to go and ride the carousel. And by the time we're ready to settle down, either many of those men are gone, they themselves are married, or they're strictly not interested. They may be going for women who are half their age. They may be going for women outside of the country, or whatever it may be. But nevertheless, a big issue is that in our culture, we're just not set up for success. Majority of us are born to single parent households, over 70%. And that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if your mom wasn't a wife, or your grandmother wasn't a wife, or there wasn't strong families around you, then therefore you don't know what to look for, and you just end up relying upon maybe what the bitter auntie tells you about relationships, but you have no vantage point. There's no preparation for how to even be a wife. There's no preparation for how to even be a long-term partner. There's no preparation for how to even find a good man. That doesn't really exist. But what does exist, however, is teaching women how to be independent and then encouraging them to engage in behavior that's going to leave them being single mothers. Wife culture does not exist. It does not exist in Black America. Again, if it did, then we would see more wives. And then by the time we get of age where it is of value, many of the good men are married off, or many of the good men, maybe they're looking for a woman younger, maybe they're looking for a woman abroad. It just becomes a lot more competitive. So recently...
Wife culture in America. Does it exist? I would say no. Now, let me say this. Ladies, wouldn't life be easier if you had a teammate, if you had a partner to get through life with? Wouldn't life be easier? Wouldn't life be happier with a partner to do things with, to travel with, to invest with, to experience life-changing events with? You know, wouldn't it be easier? Ladies, here's a question. How do you measure success? How do you measure success? Is it money? Is it education? Is it career? Or is it marriage? More often than not, Black women in America measure success by their career. They say because they got this career, they're successful. Because they make this amount of money, they're successful. Men do not measure women's success by their career. Men do not measure women's success by their money. Why? Because men don't care about none of that. I don't know. I don't think a lot of women understand that. This pregnant chick, oh my goodness, twerking is just ridiculous. Oh my goodness. That is offensive. But men do not care about that stuff. Men care about women who can make a household. Now, the question, well, here's the deal. The reason why marriage culture don't exist is for a good reason. It's because 70% of homes are single mothers, okay? And women don't get to see a lot of women be wives. And probably a percentage of that 30% that there is a man in the household, those women probably don't even respect their mothers because of how the relationship with their father is going. I would probably say half of those girls don't see a healthy marriage or don't want to seen enough to not even want to be married. So you got about 85% of women, I might even say 90% of women who either don't know how to be a wife or don't want to be a wife for whatever reason. So the question is, why would women want to be married if they're under those conditions? Well, you should want better for yourself. Let me tell you, a lot of women who do go straight for career and go straight for, monetary success or educational success, they later regret it in life. Trust me, I know a lot of women who later regretted it in life. Sure, they got the shiny career, they got the good education, but if they could do it all over again, they would do it all differently. They will focus more on a marriage. Some of them would stay in marriages. Others would get married. Okay? I know a lot of women personally. So I know there's a lot out there that regrets focusing just on their career. Because all you do is you go to a job and they treat you like a number. And then when they're done using you up, they throw you back in the streets. And then you're old, alone probably, or you may have kids, but some of you may not have kids. And you feel an emptiness. Okay? You live in a house by yourself. You have to do everything by yourself. Okay? You find out it's not worth it. You find out that it could be so much better if you had someone to share your life with. And the education, the career, and the money, all that, money is just a tool. It just gets spent. Money comes and goes. But memories are forever, and you don't have many of those. You feel like no one really cares about you. You feel like no one really got your back. Okay? Some of you might have kids, but you turn your kids into husbands. If you got boys, you turn them into son husbands. If you got daughters, you turn them into daughter husbands. To where they got to do everything for you. That's not fair to your kids. It's not. You know, I know some that had mothers, and they seen the writing on the wall, and they wanted to get married. They wanted themselves a man. And kudos to those women who woke up and got out of that mindset and trying to break that curse. But for the most part, a lot of women judge their success off of their career. We need to bring back marriage culture in America. We need to bring back marriage culture. Has to be done by the men and the women. But I think the men, the men need to get more into marriage culture, and the women definitely need to get back into marriage culture. The women are probably more divested than the men are. And it should be the opposite. It really should be the opposite. I'm not sure why it's not the opposite. But it should. Women should want to get married more. Women gain more from marriage. In my opinion, they gain more from marriage than men do. Women are the social of the two sexes. Okay, women are the social. But if you have a culture of riding the sea carousel, okay, because for whatever reason, we're in the culture of riding the sea carousel. Women want to try out new ones every other month. Okay, they find a reason to break up with their boyfriend so they can ride another one, and that's the culture that we're in right now. You know, but women get more out of marriage. They have someone to help them in every single way, physically, financially, emotionally. Okay. But when women are, a lot of women, not all, but with a lot of women left to their own devices, it becomes a sad scene. Okay. But I have hope. I have hope for Black America. I have hope for Black women. I have hope for the marriage culture in this country. But it's probably literally going to take an act of Congress for things to really change. Unfortunately, it's going to take an act of Congress, because women are too scared of marriage. They're too scared. I don't think women like the idea of being with one man as much as men don't like the idea of being with one woman for the rest of their life. But women are the ones who get bored. Okay, they need action. Women are the queens of change. I'll say that. And they need change. They need different scenery. They need different clothes. They need different shoes. They need a different hairstyle, a different wig, they need different all the time. They get bored with the same thing. And that includes a man. So, we need to bring back marriage culture. But how are we going to do that? Ladies, I will say the number one thing you have to get rid of is your boredom. You're going to have to concede something in order to start getting back into this marriage culture. And boredom is going to have to be something that you're going to have to live with. I know that don't excite a lot of women. But that's where we are. Now I'm talking about black women because she's talking about black women. Okay, so I know the men need to do their part too, but the black people in general, we're all going to have to get used to being bored. We're going to have to embrace boredom. Actually, we're going to have to embrace boredom as embrace it as being normal. Boredom has to be normal. See, the problem is you have social medias, you have reality TV shows, you have all of this stuff to stimulate you. You're on crack right now. You constantly need crack. You constantly need the endorphins and dopamine hits all the time. You're going to have to unplug from the matrix and get used to boredom in a relationship and in a marriage, because boredom equals happiness. I'd like to hear your comments. I'd like to see your comments. Put it down. What do you think about that? Hit the like, share, and subscribe. All right. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.